Australian box from Kadir and Elson. Henry was a slave in the South. He was a slave when he grew up. When he grew up, he didn't really have any friends until he met this woman he loved. Then when he married her, he had children, 2 children. Then when he was once working, they got sold. Henry was furious. He tried to go save them when they were getting sold, but he was too late. Then after they were sold, Henry was very depressed. He felt like he didn't want to live anymore. So then, there was only one solution he could do. He had to go to the north where there was no slavery, so he could be free again. He figured that there was a supply drop going to the north, so he put himself in a box all the way to Philadelphia, where there was no slavery. When he put himself in a box, the only stuff he had was 2 biscuits, some water, and a knife. With the knife, he poked holes through the box so he can get air in. When he was in the box, he went through lots of stuff. People were sitting on the box, people were talking next to him, people saying bad stuff about black people. Then, when he got to Philadelphia, they found him, and they're very nice to him. And that's how Henry was free. The theme of the book was courage. Think about it. Henry put himself in a box for 27 hours. If I was in a box for 27 hours, I would handle it. So, only with 2 biscuits, some water, and a knife to poke some holes, I would be cramped. Also, how he went to go save his wife and children, that's very brave of him. And this is Makiswani and Henry's box.
I am reading a book called Mo and Bo, and this book is about 2 animals. One is a mouse named Mo, and the other is a bear named Bo. And they're different because one is big and the other is small. And they do the same things in the book, like yawning and growling and showing off their teeth, but they both do it differently. And I think the theme of this book is everyone is different because they both did the same things but differently, and that's why they're different.
I read a book about green eggs and ham by Dr. Seuss. This book was about a guy named Sam. He had a friend. Sam said, try these green eggs and ham, but his friend said no. So every time his friend said no, he kept trying to convince his friend to eat green eggs and ham. And I think this book, the thing of the book is never give up, because he never gave up making him try green eggs and ham. And that is my evidence.
The book Chrysanthemum by Kevin Heckins is about a mouse named Chrysanthemum who loved her name ever till she went to school. She always got bullied, and then every time she came home, her parents would always tell her her name is perfect and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. That's what I think the theme is. But one day when she went to a music class, her teacher saw that other mouses were bullying Chrysanthemum. The music teacher said that they shouldn't bully Chrysanthemum because her name's a flower too, and she was going to name her baby Chrysanthemum. After that, no one teased her.
The book I read was Green Eggs and Ham. The author of this book is Dr. Seuss. The book is about the guy Sam he tries to make Mr. Knox eat the green eggs and ham. Mr. Knox doesn't like Sam, so he says he doesn't like green eggs and ham. So Sam tries to make Mr. Knox go to many places. At the last, Mr. Knox was frustrated and he eats the green eggs and ham. Then, at the last, Mr. Knox liked green eggs and ham. I think the theme of this book is never give up, because Sam never gives up on Mr. Knox for eating the green eggs and ham.
So the book that I read was called My Secret Bully by Trudy Ludwig. This book is about two best friends that get in a fight. One of the girls is being a bully, and the other one is getting pushed around and saying that she can't hang out with her friends except for her. And then the girl stands up for herself and tells an adult. I think this book is about courage, because most kids don't stick up for themselves because they get scared and they don't tell adults.
The book that I read was Friends by Michael Foreman. This book is a book about a cat named Lucky and a fish named Bubbles. One day Lucky went home and thought that Bubbles would have been bored and sad of swimming around and around in his fish tank. So he got a bucket and filled it with water and brought Bubbles to places like the bay, the sea, and the ocean. But Bubbles didn't want to go to any of these places because they were friends, and Bubbles wanted to stay with Lucky. So in the end, this book was, in the end, they went home and Bubbles went back to his tank and Lucky went to lie down. This book is about, the theme of this book is friendship.
Hello, I am Nicholas DeLane. Today I am showing you the book Curious Garden by Peter Brown. This book is about a kid named Liam. He loved to explore around the city. It was a very dreary city with no plants or greenery at all. One day Liam went up to train tracks. He saw a tiny little garden that was not really in good shape. So he went to it and started gardening it. And it grew and it spread all over the train tracks. Then winter came and it messed up the garden a lot. So he had to do a lot of hard work over it. So Liam, in the garden, Liam cared for the garden, and the garden grew and grew and grew, and it turned into a big garden all over the city, and people started to help him. I think the theme of this book is helping hard work pays off, because Liam started from a tiny garden, and he helped a tiny garden, and it grew all over the city, and that had to take a lot of work. He inspired many people to garden with him. So in the end, everything paid off into a giant, great city that everybody loved.
The book I read was The Forgot Brock by Carter Goodrich. And the summary of the book was there was a boy named Philip and an imaginary friend named Brock. This was his only friend in the entire world. They always played together and laughed and giggled. So one day, Philip and Brock decided to go to a carnival, which they did. They rode all the rides together, merry-go-round, roller coasters, but they wanted to ride the last one, the Ferris wheel. So Philip fell asleep when he wanted to go ride the Ferris wheel, but Brock was already on the Ferris wheel, and Philip's parents took him to home, and when they pulled over in the driveway, Philip realized that Brock wasn't there. So he went inside his house to check if Brock was there, but he wasn't. He cried and cried all day long. When it was morning, Philip drew pictures of Brock and hanged them on trees and everywhere. And Brock was with another friend at the carnival with another imaginary friend named Princess Sparkle Dust. She asked if Brock was lost, and Brock said yes. So Princess Sparkle Dust took Brock home and with a human being named Anne. And they played together. Just when they were about to have fun, Brock saw the sign that Philip drew that lost Brock. And when Philip was just about to give up, he saw that Brock was having fun with someone else, and he yelled his name, Brock, and then they became friends again. And the theme of this book was that perseverance, because Philip never gave up on Brock. He kept searching and searching for him.
This book is called Nimah the War Efforts by Millie Lee. It's about a girl named Nimah who is donating newspapers to a school foundation that benefits the war efforts. I think the theme is perseverance, because when a little boy tells her that he's going to get more newspapers in the donation than she is, she tries as hard as she can to get more than him. She also shows perseverance when the little boy takes the newspapers that her aunt put out for her.
The book I'm reading is Green Eggs and Ham, and it's about this guy named Sam, and he was trying to convince Mr. Knox to eat green eggs and ham, but Mr. Knox would keep refusing to, and he would keep saying that he didn't make them. But Sam would keep trying and trying no matter what. And I think the theme of this book is perseverance, because Sam never stopped believing in Mr. Knox or eating green eggs and ham. And then Mr. Knox finally tried them, and he ended up liking them, and he thanked Sam for believing in him and keep trying.
The book I read today is Lily's Purple Plastic Purse by Kevin Hanks. This book is about a little mouse named Lily who one day goes to the mall with her grandmother and gets snazzy sunglasses, a purple plastic purse, and 3 shiny quarters. Lily was really excited about showing all of her items to her classmates in school. The theme of this book is being considerate of others, because Lily was interrupting the class when her teacher was trying to teach the other classmates a lesson. Eventually, the teacher got mad at Lily and took away her items till the end of the day. Lily got really mad at her teacher, so she decided to draw a picture of a really mean picture of her teacher and put it in his backpack at the end of the day. When she got home, Lily felt really bad because the teacher gave her back the items and she still put the note in his backpack. So she felt really bad about that. This was the book I read today, Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. The book I read today is called Ginger and Petunia by Patricia Polacco. This book is about a woman named Ginger and her pet pig named Petunia. When Ginger leaves for a recital, Ginger misses her so much, and she starts to act exactly like her. She starts to dress like her, and she starts to go to the grocery store and everything that Ginger does. And at the end, she doesn't really like it because she wants to take a mud bath really bad, but she knows that people are watching her, and if she takes a mud bath, then she'll get caught. So then at the end, when Ginger does come, she gets really excited and just starts to jump around and really misses Ginger a lot. I think the theme of this book is friendship because Petunia misses Ginger a lot, and she just wants to be exactly like Ginger. That's the book.
The book I read was The Name Jar. This book was about a girl who moved from Korea to America, and she didn't want to say her name to her new class because she thought they would make fun of her or pronounce her name wrong. And so one of her classmates thought it was a good idea to put a jar on her desk, and every single day the kids in her class would write a name and put it in the jar. So when she was ready, she would pick out the name and a name from the jar, and she would say the name, and that would be her name for the rest of the year. I think this book is about courage because this boy in her class came up to her and asked what her name was, and she said, "My name is Yoon Hai." He thought that name was really cool, so she has the courage to go up in front of the class and say, "My name is Yoon Hai," and spell in Korean and English. I really think you should read this book.
Hey, my name is Jackson. The book I'm reading is The Curious Garden, made by Peter Brown. And once there was a boy, Liam, walking upon a railroad, and then the whole city wasn't covered with green. There was no green at all. And he found a little garden, and then he started to garden every single day, and then the whole city soon was covered with green, and it was a giant garden. The theme of this book is hard work pays off, because he came there every day to garden and garden and garden, and then everyone